going on, my friends? The countdown continues to the NFL Draft. Welcome to NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Just 17 days until we meet the first round of new pros. William McGinnis is in studio with me tonight. David Carr is here as well. But let's get into the big news of the day out of New England, where Julian Edelman announced his retirement. And this catch right here, it says it all. A spectacular juggling act in Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons. Now, after 12 seasons and 3 Super Bowl victories with New England, Julian Edelman is retiring from football. He was MVP of Super Bowl 53, if you recall. He posted a special message on social media saying thanks and farewell.
Now, I've always said, I'm going to go until the wheels come off. And they finally have fallen off. Due to an injury last year, I'll be making my official announcement of my retirement from football. It's been the best 12 years of my life. It's a hell of a run. And I can't forget you, Patriot Nation. You guys have welcomed me and my family to a region we do not know. We didn't know. But now, I'm one of you. I'm going to leave you guys with 2 words. Foxborough, forever.
All right, let's welcome in our NFL insider Ian Rappaport and Mike Giardi. You guys know you watched till the end and you saw that beam me up part at the end of his retirement announcement. I mean, perfectly said by Julian Edelman. It's on brand for him. Ian, I want to start with you, though, here. What was the road that led ultimately to Edelman's retirement announcement today?
Well, it really did begin last year. Of course, Julian Edelman tried to play through a pretty serious knee injury. Actually thought he was going to come back late in the season after having surgery. Just was not able to do it. Tried to practice, had a little bit of a setback, was not on the field again. And at that point, it became very clear, Mike, to the people close to Julian Edelman, that this knee injury was troublesome and potentially career-ending. And, of course, the Patriots really took their time with this and let Edelman take his time, prove to himself he could get healthy. They tried to allow him as much time as possible just to be able to play in the 2021 season, despite the fact that they also planned without him. They signed Kendrick Bourne. They signed Nelson Aguilar. They moved on but gave him every opportunity. In the end, Edelman knew it was time, and the Patriots knew it was time, so he walks away after officially being released with a failed physical, which means he can file for $2 million in injury protection. A nice payday for a Patriot who did everything possible that the organization asked in the biggest of spots.
And Ian, glowing statement from the Patriots today from both Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, just detailing the kind of Patriot that Julian Edelman was. But to your point, this has really been a 2-year road for Edelman. He had off-season knee surgery after 2019, when it was pretty clear at the end of the year that he wasn't the same player who ended up with 100 catches that season, but over the final month had just 13 catches over the final 4 games. Had that surgery, had some strong showings at the beginning of the year. 5 catches versus Miami in that win, 8 against Seattle, but then only 8 more catches over his final 4 games as a Patriot before succumbing to yet another knee surgery. And as you mentioned, tried to come back at various points during the course of the regular season and then was really pushing it here in the offseason to see if he could, again, play to the level that he is comfortable with, that he's accustomed to, and he just couldn't get there. And I'm reminded of something he said back in 2015, getting ready, actually it was 2016, the 2015 regular season. He missed 7 games with a broken foot, decided he was coming back for the playoffs, and he said, if it goes, MJ, it goes.
Oof. And Mike, you have had a front row seat to Julian Edelman's career, of course, following the Patriots for so many years. Mike, thank you. Ian, we'll check with you a little bit later in the show. All right, listen, if you wanted a receiver in the playoffs, Julian Edelman, a great place to start here. Only Jerry Rice has more career receiving yards in the playoffs than Edelman. Numbers right there in front of you. William McGinnis, hello, my friend. Good
Hello.
to be back with you here. Now, I know you have plenty to say about this move.
Yes.
Let's dive in here. How important was Edelman to the Patriots' success and to Tom Brady's success as well?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the Squirrel. A stellar career, and he's one of the toughest players to ever play in the league. Now, he was a receiver, but he didn't act like a receiver. He was one of those guys who invited the pain. He loved the grind. He was a workaholic. He played through pain for years. I mean, he had to really be set back for him to want to retire and not go forth. And he endured a lot. And when you talk about what he meant to the Patriots and what he meant to Tom Brady, he was a selfless player. He would do anything they asked him to do. He would block. He would run whatever routes. He would talk trash back to Brady. He didn't back down from anybody, no matter what the route. He ran across any safety. Didn't really matter with Julian Edelman. He was clutch. He came up with the biggest plays and the biggest games. And he always looked to help his teammate and do whatever he could to become better. So when you talk about Edelman and all the different things that he encompasses, he exemplifies the true Patriot way, a guy that's done everything he's supposed to do. I wouldn't even call him a blue-collar guy. He works like that, but he's just on a whole nother level. And he's self-made.
Right.
He made his career. He came in and earned a spot and grinded for what he has. And for 12 years, he was one of the best guys doing it at his position.
And he's one of the most resilient guys in the league. I mean, battling with his own body for over a decade there. You saw the evolution of his career, the evolution of the beard. I mean,
he loved the physicality of it, and that's rare for a receiver. Receivers don't like to get hit and like that part of it. He invited it.
He's a special kind of man, that's for sure. And Patriots owner Robert Kraft said Julian Edelman is one of the great success stories in our franchise's history. That is a direct quote. Head coach Bill Belichick added, by any measure of what constitutes an elite NFL career, wins, championships, production, Julian has it all. So we'll have more on Julian Edelman's retirement a little later in the show. So from the end of one career to a fresh start with another. Sam Darnold is the new starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. The Jets traded their former third overall pick in 2018 to Carolina for 3 picks. So they got a 6th rounder in the 2021 draft later this month, a 2nd rounder, and a 4th rounder in 2022. For Darnold and his new head coach, Matt Rule, it's a fresh start they're happy to make.
I think for me, it's anytime, you go somewhere and you set, like I said before, you set lofty goals and those goals aren't met. That's always tough for me. When I heard the news that they wanted to trade me, it was tough. Anytime you're not wanted somewhere, that's always, a tough pill to swallow. I'm ready to start here in Carolina and hit the ground running.
I think when you see his arm talent, his ability to, I don't think there's a game that you watch where he doesn't make a play that makes you say, there it is. Can fit the ball into tight windows, can create with his feet. He moves around a ton. He creates plays with his legs, extends plays with his legs. And then you can just kind of see and feel his grittiness and his toughness. So I think his arm talent, his movement are a great fit for the players that we have here that he'll be playing with.
David Carr joining us now. Good to see you, DC, on the big screen here. All right. This is truly a golden opportunity for Sam Darnold to restart, or maybe just plain old actually start his career. And you had the opportunity throughout your career to change teams a couple of times. What do you think about this setting now for Sam Darnold?
Well, MJ, I think it's important to remember that not all franchises are built the same. I mean, there are great organizations all across the league, but I think that you find that when you get to different places, you're treated differently, and people appreciate you more, and sometimes less. But in this case, for Sam, I think this is a situation where they got a first-round talent, and I think if he was in this draft, he would be a first-round pick. So the Panthers have to be overly excited. And I think along with that, with the talent and the mobility and the athleticism and all the things that he brings from an X's and O's standpoint, I think the key here is Matt Rule really hit it off with Sam Darnold. In their conversations, they're like-minded. They have the same mindset. They're detail-oriented with Matt Rule. I was with Matt Rule when he was with the New York Giants several years ago, just as an assistant offensive line coach, and I loved my conversations with him. I feel like Sam has a new lease on life. He's excited to go out there and actually get a chance to start his career. He's back with Robbie Anderson. They had a great connection with the Jets. It was one of the few positive things that they had going out there. And so with Robbie's ability, obviously he vouched for him or this decision wouldn't have been made. They clearly talked to Robbie, said, what do you think about Sam? And that's why he's here. So I think this is all in all a great thing for the Carolina Panthers, a great thing for Sam Darnold, gets to refresh his career with Joe Brady. Think about that. I mean, that's basically Sam Darnold in the New Orleans Saints offense. A lot of completions, but then take his ability level and see what more he can bring to that team. So I'm excited to see him play.
I mean, David, there's been a lot said about the Jets organization, about what they've done to perhaps set him up for success or not done. So now, in this scenario, as you described, where it could seemed to be the perfect fit. Now it's really all eyes on Sam Darnold and what he can do and to really make this opportunity count. All right, David, thank you. Let's get you to more news from around the league with Ian Rappaport joining us again. All right, Ian, there's been some movement with Jadeveon Clowney. We've been monitoring this and his camp. Now another visit is looming.
That's right, another visit for Jadeveon Clowney.